Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Let's Taste with the Intrepid Wino. My name is James Scaresbrook and I'm joined by the cute Millie in this edition. I'm looking at some samples here that have been sent to me from Mosswood in Margaret River of Western Australia. Margaret River and Mosswood, very well known for Chardonnay and Cabernet or Cabernet blends. And I'm looking at the new vintage, the 2016 Chardonnay, but also their Pinot Noir from 2015. Something that they have a bit of a cult following for. Margaret River is not really well known for Pinot Noir. But I have looked at these wines in previous vintages, and they are considered to be one of the best producers in Margaret River, if not in the country. So I'm interested to see what the new vintages have to offer. So to start off with, the Mosswood Chardonnay 2016 vintage. Recommended retail, as you possibly can see on the sticker on the front, is $65. The Mosswood wines are fantastically under screw cap these days, which is great if you are selling wines, because you know that the wine is not going to be corked when you open it many years later. The aromatics really just jumping out of the glass. Really classic. So classic Australian Chardonnay, Margaret River, beautiful stone fruit, citrus, pithy, leesy, very elegantly, slightly toasty. It has a really interesting sort of mature single malt Scotch kind of toastiness to it. A lovely sort of lanolin character, wonderfully sort of very subtly kind of flinty, strike match, very much a character, you know, a lees stirring derived character. Oak very well integrated into the fruit aromatics. Just absolutely textbook. Let's taste. Very fine, very focused. There is some richness, but it's not kind of really heavy and buttery. It's very elegant. It's very integrated. All the elements are very much in balance. The alcohol is not overwhelming at all. It really does serve to support the other elements of the wine. Quite complex, very young, I think. Like it is kind of beautifully massaged into this very approachable Chardonnay. You could very easily drink this now, but there are characters, there are sort of things I see in that wine that make me think that it will benefit from at least 5 to 10 years of cellaring. Really outstanding Chardonnay. You can see why they are considered to be one of the top Chardonnay producers in Australia. Right, now let's have a look at the 2015 Mosswood Pinot Noir. Recommended retail for this one is $60. These are very outstanding, very premium wines that we're looking at here. As expected, we're still looking at some darker fruit characters, so black cherries. Some dark pomegranate notes. As a very faint kind of whole bunch, stalky, stemmy sort of character. Just some very subtle kind of sandalwood notes, and some really sort of almost so cinnamon. Some sort of sweet spices there as well. Quite varietal, more in the sort of Côte de Beaune realm. Darker, softer, more luscious fruit notes. Let's taste. Darker fruit tannins here as well. Nice and light. Very elegant, very fresh. It's not as pretty as you can see in certain cooler climate regions, certainly here in Victoria, like the Yarra Valley or Mornington. It is actually a really well-made Pinot Noir, and I think it is certainly reflective of that Margaret River climate. I actually like this. You know, it's quite delicious. Very different, very left of centre. You know, like very classic in a way, but also quite different to you know, more prominent, I guess, Pinot Noir regions like Victoria, Tasmania, Adelaide Hills, for example. I think that is, and I probably said this about previous vintage, it's very much a mosswood wine. Really, really elegant, contained, integrated, you know, nice, slightly riper fruit profile without being kind of really full and rich and kind of bombastic. So it would be interesting to see that wine with a bit of age as well. The Chardonnay obviously is going to be the strongest because it is such a prominent Chardonnay region. But for something a little bit different, I possibly said this last time as well, have a look at the Mosswood Pinot Noir because, yeah, Pinot Noir is not necessarily a variety you would gravitate towards from Margaret River. It's not really very common. So the Chardonnay is very bankable, Pinot Noir, something for a little bit of difference. Thank you obviously to the wonderful people at Mosswood for very kindly donating some samples for me to taste and share my impressions of their wine. Please do get in contact with me if you would like to have your wines profiled here on Let's Taste, and if you'd like to send me some wine, I'm always very grateful to receive samples. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please hit that like button, share it on social media, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. And come and visit me at intrepidwino.com. Lots of different content there, different ways of getting in contact with me as well. And please follow me on social media at Intrepid Wino on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. But until next time, cheers.